For 37 years, my life followed a steady rhythm. I was a pastor at Grace Haven Community Church in Chicago, dedicated to guiding my congregation with faith and compassion. My days began with the hum of the coffee maker and the creak of the wooden floors in my modest home. Life was predictable, filled with scripture, prayers, and the comforting presence of a community bound by faith. I was raised in Springfield, Illinois, in a faith-driven household. My father, a mechanic, and my mother, a part-time librarian, instilled in me the values of hard work, humility, and devotion. Sundays were sacred. We never missed a service. From a young age, I felt an unexplainable pull toward the divine. It was a whisper I couldn't ignore, one that led me to seminary school and eventually to my calling as a pastor. Yet, despite the fulfillment of my ministry, a subtle restlessness lingered. I often found myself kneeling in the sanctuary, whispering a prayer for clarity. One autumn evening, as I sat alone in the dimly lit church, I asked God, "What am I missing?" The silence that followed felt heavier than usual. Weeks later, I received my answer in the form of a diagnosis: stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The words struck like a thunderbolt, shaking the foundations of my world. The prognosis was grim. Life became a haze of treatments and prayers, each day slipping through my fingers like sand. Then came the night that changed everything. The hospital room was dim, the beeping monitors a steady rhythm in the background. Pain gripped my chest, tightening like a vice. Darkness closed in, my breath shallow. And then silence. A silence deeper than anything I had ever known. Suddenly, I found myself floating above my own body, watching as doctors rushed in. Fear gave way to peace as a tunnel of radiant light appeared before me. I was pulled toward it effortlessly, an unseen force guiding me forward. The voices of my past echoed softly, my mother's bedtime prayers, my father's hymns. The light ahead grew stronger, and an overwhelming sense of anticipation filled me. Something awaited beyond that light, something that would change everything I thought I knew. Thank you for being part of our growing community. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to our channel and leave a like. And here's something special: comment your name and city below, and we might give you a personal shout-out in our next video. Imagine hearing your name shared with thousands of viewers, your moment to shine and join this journey with us. The light embraced me, not with heat, but with a presence that reached into the depths of my soul. It was alive, pulsing with an energy beyond human comprehension. I moved forward, drawn into the warmth of something eternal. Then the motion stopped. I found myself standing on what seemed like a crystalline plain, shimmering beneath my feet. The air vibrated with an unearthly hum, the atmosphere saturated with peace. From the mist ahead, a figure emerged. Clad in white, his eyes bore into my soul with knowing and love. "Daniel," the figure spoke, his voice resonating through every fiber of my being. "You have been brought here to witness, to understand, and to prepare." "Why me?" I whispered. "Because your heart has sought truth beyond tradition." The landscape around me shifted, revealing earth from above. I saw cities, people, and invisible threads connecting them. Then the vision narrowed to a desert. There, partially buried in the sand, stood an ancient stone structure. "Here lies the foundation of a great deception," the figure explained. "But the truth is rising." The scene shifted again. People gathered in homes and fields, praying with urgency. A voice echoed through the vision: "The awakening has begun." The figure placed a hand on my shoulder. "Stand firm," he said. "The journey has just begun." The light faded and I was pulled back through the tunnel. The hospital room reappeared. The beeping of monitors, the voices of nurses, and then Emily's voice calling my name. I opened my eyes, meeting her tearful gaze. "You're back," she whispered. But something within me had changed. The vision had shaken me to my core, but it had also given me a mission. I could no longer go back to the life I had before. The image of the ancient stone structure haunted me, the figure's words echoing in my mind. "The awakening has begun." Emily noticed my distraction. "You're different," she said. "You're carrying something heavy." "I am," I admitted. "I need to share what I saw." That Sunday, I stood before my congregation recounting my experience. I spoke of the radiant light, the man in white, and the vision of the coming awakening. The sanctuary was silent, hearts hanging on every word. "This is not about fear," I concluded. "This is about preparation. The truth is being revealed and we must be ready." The response was overwhelming. People stayed after the service to share their own experiences of spiritual unrest. Messages flooded in from strangers who had watched the live stream. Emily suggested we record a video to reach more people. If you felt a stirring in your heart, I said to the camera, you're not alone. The Eternal One is calling us to prepare. The video's impact surpassed anything we imagined. Views skyrocketed, comments poured in. I saw the man in white too. He said to prepare, wrote a woman from Nashville. But with the light came resistance. An anonymous message arrived. Stop spreading lies. There will be consequences. Fear was real. But so was the mission. The days following my return from the hospital were filled with contemplation. I couldn't shake the vision, the ancient stone structure, the figure's command to prepare, and the overwhelming sense that something greater was unfolding beyond what I could see. It wasn't just a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. It was real and it was urgent. Emily watched me closely. You haven't been yourself since you woke up, she said one evening, concern laced in her voice. You're carrying something heavy. I have to share what I saw, I admitted. The world needs to know. That Sunday I stepped up to the pulpit and took a deep breath. The congregation watched expectantly. I began to speak, recounting everything. The tunnel of light, the man in white, the warnings of an impending awakening. Silence filled the room as I spoke, and when I finished, a stillness lingered in the air. Then one by one people stood up. I felt something too, an older woman whispered from the back. Like a stirring in my soul. I didn't know what it was until now. My dreams have been strange lately, a young man added. I see a figure in white, but I never understood what it meant. It wasn't just me. Others were feeling it too. After the service, dozens of people stayed behind, eager to share their own experiences. Stories of visions, dreams, and an inexplicable urgency filled the room. A woman with trembling hands approached me. Pastor, she said, last night I had a dream about a storm coming. A storm so vast, so dark, but in the midst of it was a light. And the light called us forward. That night Emily and I sat in the living room, the weight of what had transpired pressing down on us. We have to go beyond the church walls, she said. People need to hear this message. So we recorded a video. I sat in front of the camera, my grandfather's worn Bible in my hands. If you felt something stirring in your heart, I said, looking directly into the lens, you're not alone. This is not fear, it's preparation. The truth is being revealed and we must be ready. When we uploaded the video, we never expected what would happen next. The response was overwhelming. Within hours, thousands of comments flooded in. I've seen the man in white too. I keep having dreams about the storm. Something is coming, I can feel it. The movement was growing, but so was the opposition. 2 days after the video went live, an anonymous message arrived in my inbox. Stop spreading lies. There will be consequences. I stared at the screen, my heartbeat pounding. Fear tried to creep in, but I refused to let it take hold. That night, I woke at 3:33 a.m., the room thick with a presence unseen but unmistakable. And then the voice returned. Daniel, the time is short. Speak boldly. I sat up, breathless. The message was clear. I could not stop now. I would not stop now. The next morning, Emily and I recorded another video, addressing the growing number of people experiencing the same visions. This isn't about us, I said. This is about all of us. We don't make money from these videos. We share these messages because we believe they are meant for everyone. The video went viral. More testimonies poured in. A woman from Nashville wrote, I saw the man in white too. He said to prepare. But with the light, the darkness pushed back. More threats arrived. Warnings to stop. And then a phone call from an unknown number. Pastor Thompson, the voice on the other end said, we need to talk. A cold chill ran down my spine. Something told me this was only the beginning. If this story has resonated with you, please like this video and comment below with your name and city. We would love to recognize you in our next video as part of this growing community. Join us as we uncover the truth together. The anonymous phone call played over and over in my mind. Who was it? What did they know? The voice had been calm but firm, carrying an air of authority that unsettled me. I hesitated before calling the number back, my fingers hovering over the phone's keypad. Emily sat beside me, concern etched into her face. You don't have to do this, she said. Yes, I do, I replied, pressing the dial button. The call was answered almost instantly. Pastor Thompson, the voice said again. My name is Agent Collins. I work with a government research division. We've been tracking phenomena similar to what you described in your videos. I felt a chill run down my spine. Tracking? I asked, my voice tight. There are others, Collins continued. More people are having these visions. We've been receiving reports from all over the country, some from outside the United States. But there's something else. He paused. Something you need to see. A meeting was arranged in Chicago. Emily was hesitant, but I knew I couldn't ignore this. If what I saw was real, if the man in white was appearing to others, then the awakening wasn't just my burden to bear. The following evening, I found myself in a sterile federal office, facing a table covered in photographs. My breath caught in my throat. There, in crisp black and white images, was the ancient stone structure from my vision. More than that, there were several structures located in different deserts across the world. Some partially buried, others uncovered, but all marked with the same symbols. What is this? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. These sites have been linked to unexplained events for centuries, Collins explained. And lately, the frequency of reported visions has increased exponentially. I studied the images, my pulse pounding in my ears. The symbols, they were familiar. They had been carved into the stone, glowing in my vision. What do they mean? We don't know, Collins admitted. But the messages people are receiving, they all say the same thing. Prepare. A wave of urgency rushed over me. I had been right to speak out. I wasn't alone in this. The awakening was happening, and it was bigger than I had ever imagined. But with that realization came another: we were being watched. That night, back in our home, I told Emily everything. She listened quietly, nodding in understanding. We have to keep going, she said finally. No matter what happens. So we pressed on. The next video went live the following day, and this time I didn't hold back. The awakening is real, I said into the camera. The visions are real. And the message is clear. We must prepare. The response was overwhelming. People from across the world shared their stories. More dreams. More visions. More warnings. And then the resistance grew stronger. An email arrived late one night. Asterisk, you need to stop. Now, asterisk. Another followed. Asterisk, you're playing with forces beyond your understanding. Stay silent. Asterisk. I felt the weight of fear creeping in, but I remembered the words spoken to me in my vision. Asterisk, stand firm. Speak boldly. Asterisk. That night, I awoke at exactly 3:33 a.m. The room was filled with a presence I couldn't see but could feel in every fiber of my being. The air hummed with something unearthly. And then the voice came again. The storm has begun. I sat up, my breath shallow, my heart pounding. There was no turning back now. The awakening was here. Asterisk, if this story has spoken to you, please like this video and comment below with your name and city. We want to recognize you in our next video as part of this growing community. The truth is rising, stand with us. Asterisk. The days following my late-night awakening were a blur of preparation and urgency. The vision had been clear, the storm had begun. I could feel it not just in my spirit but in the world around me. Something was shifting. The messages we received after our last video were unlike anything we had seen before. I've seen the man in white, one message read. He told me to prepare my heart. Another wrote, I had a dream of the stone structure. It was crumbling and something was emerging from beneath it. The flood of testimonies only confirmed what I already knew. The awakening was real. The call was spreading and the darkness was responding. One evening, Emily and I sat across from each other at the kitchen table, our phones buzzing non-stop with messages. This is bigger than we ever imagined, she murmured. People are waking up. But with the growing movement came new resistance. A knock at our door in the middle of the night startled us both. When I opened it, no one was there. Instead, an envelope lay on the porch. Inside was a single sheet of paper with a message. You have been warned. A cold chill ran down my spine. This wasn't just spiritual opposition anymore. Someone was trying to silence us. The next day we recorded a video addressing the threats. We will not be silent, I said. The truth must be shared. The awakening is happening and we will continue to stand firm. The video spread like wildfire. More testimonies poured in, but so did more warnings. One email stood out among the rest. Asterisk, you are disrupting something far greater than you understand. Walk away while you still can. Asterisk, I refuse to let fear dictate my actions. That night, I awoke again at 3:33 a.m. The room was heavy with a presence. I sat up, heart pounding. And then the voice spoke again. The storm approaches. The time is near. The urgency in the words was undeniable. I knew then that we had to act fast. The awakening wasn't just coming, it was here. Asterisk, if you believe in this mission, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join our community. We do not earn anything from these videos. We share this message because we believe in it with all our hearts. And if this story has resonated with you, comment below with your name and city so we can recognize you in our next video. Asterisk. Chapter 7. The dawn approaches. After weeks of growing tension, the tipping point arrived. A breaking news alert flashed across our TV screen. Reports of shared visions increase worldwide. Experts baffled. Emily and I exchanged a look. What was happening? The world could no longer ignore what was unfolding. We received a message from Pastor Harris in Denver. The man in white appeared to one of our youth leaders last night. He told her, "The storm is passing and the dawn is near." Tears welled in my eyes. The message was spreading. The light was pushing back against the encroaching darkness. Then another call from Agent Collins. "Pastor Thompson, we need you in Washington," he said. "There's something you need to see." The next day, I boarded a plane. When I arrived at the facility, Collins led me into a secured room. On the table before me was a document marked classified. He flipped it open, revealing photos of the stone structures I had seen in my vision. "What am I looking at?" I asked. "This is global," he said. "We have teams investigating sites all over the world. Something is awakening. And based on our research, it's happening now." A heavy silence filled the room. The government had been tracking the awakening, and they knew it was real. Collins continued, "There's something else. We've intercepted communications. There are forces that don't want this knowledge to spread. There are people trying to suppress the truth." A chill ran through me. "What do you mean?" He hesitated before answering. "There's been increased surveillance around those spreading the message. People have been silenced before." I exhaled slowly, my mind racing. The awakening was real, but now it was clear there were those who feared it. Those who wanted it buried. That night, back home, I stood outside under the starlit sky. The weight of it all pressed down on me. "God," I whispered, "what now?" A familiar presence surrounded me, and I knew the answer before the voice even spoke. "Continue. The light will not be stopped." But as I prepared to walk inside, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Asterisk, "We know who you are. Stop now before it's too late." Asterisk. I stared at the screen, my breath catching in my throat. The resistance was escalating. But so was the mission. The next morning, Emily and I gathered our community leaders. We needed to organize to find a way to spread the message faster than it could be silenced. We started hosting live gatherings, calling for prayer, for unity, for preparation. Then, something extraordinary happened. Across the world, others began doing the same. Videos surfaced from churches, homes, and small groups, all sharing similar visions of the man in white, all proclaiming the same words. Asterisk, prepare. The dawn is near. Asterisk. A woman from London sent a recording of a dream she had the night before. The sky cracked open and a wave of light poured over the earth. The darkness recoiled, but it fought back with everything it had. The voice in my dream said, "Hold fast. The light will endure." A pastor from Brazil wrote, "This is no longer just an awakening. This is a battle for truth. The darkness knows it's losing." The message was spreading faster than any of us anticipated. But then we received news that shook us to our core. One of our closest allies, a pastor from Texas, had gone missing. His last communication was a message to our private group chat. Asterisk, "They're watching me. If anything happens, don't stop sharing the message." Asterisk. Days passed and he never resurfaced. The reality of the opposition struck harder than ever. This wasn't just about resistance. This was war. One night, as Emily and I prayed, I felt the now familiar stirring in the air. The presence that had guided me all along was here once more. And then the voice spoke, "The battle is at its peak. But the dawn is breaking. Fear not." It was the reassurance I needed. We were on the right path. No matter the opposition, the truth would shine through. The next day we recorded one final video for the series. "The awakening is here," I said. "Each of you is part of it. Keep your hearts open, your minds discerning, and your spirits anchored in truth. The video ended with a simple call. Asterisk, if this story has moved you, there's more. Click the next video appearing on your screen. A revelation awaits that could change your perspective forever. Asterisk. We closed the laptop, knowing this was only the beginning. Asterisk, thank you for being part of this journey with us. We don't do this for money. We do it because we believe in the mission. Your support helps us reach more hearts. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and together we will prepare for what's ahead. Asterisk.